Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. Hello, folks. How's it going?
All right,
Hey, man.
thanks.
Hey, want to say congrats, Andrew, on your Golden Globe nomination. Well deserved.
Yes.
Yeah, slap him in.
Applause, applause. So, the movie's not even out yet, but everybody's now going to be talking about it. It's been talked about since it's been doing a lot of festival runs. Take me back to as far as what was it that Andrew Haigh said to you in terms of you saying, okay, I can do this role, and what did you do to immerse yourself into the character?
I saw an awful lot of my own history, I suppose, in the character. There was an awful lot of the things that kind of conversations, even if they weren't totally similar to my own biography, that I just understood the tone of the conversations and that sort of fearful, vulnerable time of my life. And I definitely saw that in the character and in his beautiful screenplay, and we had an amazing conversation at the beginning of it. I seen so much of his work. I've always loved his work, so I was very predisposed to it all working out, and so it felt like I was just thrilled to be asked to be in it. Yeah, and the whole process was really, for me, completely joyful.
And for Jamie and Claire, when you get these roles, do you, as based on a book, do you go back or do you go and pick up the book, or you're just working off the script? Claire?
We just spoke about that actually, that I got the book thinking it would be helpful and then was told by Andrew Haigh not to read it. And I still haven't. It's still on my bookshelf. And not normally I love it. Anything that helps me, I devour, because I just need as much help as I can possibly get. But that was actually quite good. I felt like we really had to enter this like with an open mind and to trust Andrew, which I really feel like we all did. And for me and Jamie, I feel like specifically play each moment as it was happening, not get ahead of what we knew or didn't know, not try and figure too much out, because the whole like artifice of the world we were creating would completely crumble if too much reality or too much overthinking. If you questioned it too much, would just ruin it, basically. Ruin the magic.
Yeah. I agree.
What about you, Jamie?
I mean, again, just to really emphasize just the quality of the screenplay, of the story, of taking a brilliant conceit from the book. Fantastic concept of if you were able to just have that moment again with your parents and kind of reconsider your life and reconsider your childhood and find some connections or say the things you always wanted to say. I think Andrew Haigh really took that really delicately and very gracefully and gratefully from the book, and then expanded it and just poured his heart into it, just his soul into it, and you can feel it. You can feel it leaping off the page, and the tenderness and the care that he takes with all the characters. It's a small cast. There's only 4 speaking parts in it, and every character has something to offer this man's journey. And I just thought, getting to play those moments with Andrew and Claire were really a joy.
For Andrew Haigh, he's done other projects, but this is more personal to him than his other projects. And working as a director, was there anything you picked up from him, even though this is personal to him, that helps you out as actors moving forward after you completed the project? Andrew?
I think he's very unsentimental. I love that about him. He sort of doesn't. He's not manipulative. He doesn't want to manipulate the audience. He wants it to be without adornment, too much adornment. And I love that I've always loved that about his films. But in this film, I do think there's an undeniable vulnerability that's required. I don't know. I feel like it needed to have an emotionality to it. But he wasn't resistant to that either. I think he's just very open. I think that's what I really learned from him. He's just really open.
Yeah.
What about
which is incredibly important.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for you, Claire, obviously, as Jamie mentioned, it's only 4 characters, so it's a close knit, very indie, so when you're working, with this cast and Andrew, and you've been on bigger projects, what do you get as an actress, moving forward in terms of skill set wise, having completed this?
I find it very weird when, things get bigger and people get further apart. I don't really enjoy that. I feel like it's much more rewarding to feel like everybody's involved in some way, like you really feel like you know, every single person who's making the film, like literally every single person has a part of themselves in it in some way. And when it's a really small crew and really small cast, I just think it means that you have an ownership over it, where when it's something huge and it's like a massive machine, you just don't really feel as involved, and it's not as personal, it's not as intimate, it's not as vulnerable. It doesn't mean that it's any lesser for that, but it just means that that's what I prefer. And I also prefer less of it being more about what you're doing, as opposed to, sometimes I think that sets can feel a bit too grand for their own good. Right. And I just like the fact that we were in Croydon, like literally filming in people's houses. So we were seeing everybody on their normal day-to-day, pulling out their drive and like going on the school run and getting back from work. And that makes me feel like I'm not doing something really strange with my life, which sometimes it does feel like you're doing something really weird. Yeah. But I was part of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about you, Jamie? In terms of, obviously, you and Claire playing the parents, and it's a small set, you know, what did you guys do to establish a chemistry if you had known each other before, but now you're working together? And if you hadn't known each other, what did you do so that way we, the audience, can see that there's a chemistry there as parents?
Yeah, very little. I mean, very little into. I mean, just we're open, I think, with each other, and just willing to go to those places together. I mean, again, the strength of the script was really the characters with too much of your own stuff, and just letting the text speak for itself. But I think everyone just had a lovely summer. Like honestly, this experience really ranks very highly for me in terms of just how connected you feel to something, and how personal it is for you and for everyone. And that's the thing that is the lasting impression for me with this. I think about this movie all the time. I think I'm a parent of 3 kids, and the message of the film and everything that the therapy session that I had with myself and some of those scenes, like I really hold on to it quite dearly. So that connectivity it feels real. I mean, it was real.
And for you, Andrew, you know, as personal as you mentioned this is to you, are you able to walk away from this role, you know, and move on to something else without having to be a personal connection?
No, I don't think I am really.
Or do you take this with you?
Yeah, I'll take it with me. That's exactly right. I do feel like it's a miracle it feels so personal. So the idea of even watching a film like this, let alone being a part of it, it feels wonderful, and feels like, I remember when I saw it in the cinema for the first time, and you think, wow, it's so exposing, and the camera is really near us. You know, there's not, you can't lie. And for that to be seen, first of all, is wonderful, but for it to be seen and for it to be of use to people, and for it to move people in the extraordinary ways that it is moving people, makes me feel that you can, I always say this thing that Meryl Streep says, which is take your broken heart and turn it into art, which I've always loved.
Oh, Meryl.
Oh, Meryl, right? And I think that's what it is. I think that's what it feels like this time around, and that's a really amazing feeling, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's not here, but can you talk about working with Paul?
Paul, we miss Paul. Paul, terrible man.
Terrible guy. Honestly, I've never ever worked with anyone so much. I was in one scene with him. He was great.
Yeah, he's a really special man. We had to do very intimate things together, and I couldn't have asked for anybody better. Really, he's a real superstar, Paul. He's a wonderful human being, and I think what he's brought, I think he saw something in the character that I'm not sure every actor would have seen. I think he really understands about, as he says, that the character is a real vessel for love and support, and he loves playing that, and that's a testament to the kind of person he is. And I think those scenes are really tender and very beautiful, and I'm really proud of them, actually.
For those who are not insiders and reading too deep as to what this movie's about, you know, it can be deep, it can be depressing, but it can also be inspirational. You know, is there one thing you want people to get out of it, going into it or coming out of it? Claire?
Yeah, I think that, my main feeling, I don't know whether it's the moment I am in my life, but when I read the script and also now that I've seen it, I just think the bravery and courage, like how courageous it is to want to love someone. I find, you know, what makes us human beings, the fact that we can love. We are animals, obviously, but the fact that we can love is like this thing that it's not, you can't touch it. You can't, like, it's some magical thing. And what amazing, I just think, you know, that's sort of the point of us. But it takes a huge amount of bravery to really do it, to really kind of, it's easy to put walls up and to kind of like not allow yourself to, like Adam is, live in memory and not move forward and not really face yourself. But I just think that, like, life's too short to not make the braver choice, which is to actually be vulnerable and actually like expose yourself in a way that is absolutely terrifying. So
frightening.
Yeah.
That being said, congrats on your roles, congrats on the film. Let it keep going on. It's not out yet, but I'm sure people will talk about it. Make it so. Take care.
Oh, thank you,
man.
much.
Thank you.